As a diehard basketball fan, there are moments that bring out that excitement and passion that I have for the game that can't be replicated in any other setting. I know the same can be said for whoever's watching this video too. There has or has been a moment that has made you truly love the game of basketball. No narratives, no stands, no analytics, and no personal agendas. Just moments where you could appreciate the greatness displayed in your era. LeBron James made his return to the Drew League after an 11-year hiatus back in 2011 and basically shut down the entire NBA world yesterday. You had the entire NBA universe trying to find a link or stream just to see LeBron James return to the Drew, and on a normal Saturday afternoon, had millions of people watching LeBron James warm up for a pickup basketball game in low quality 240p. When greatness is involved, people usually turn their head in that direction regardless of how they feel. The same can be said in regards to basketball. You can dislike the player, sure, you probably got your reasons, but you can't ignore the skill set, talent displayed, and the overall achievements they've gotten, unless you're a hater, or this guy. Try your best not to be this guy. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and analyze a freaking Drew League game. LeBron put up 42 points with a cool 16 rebounds on 50% shooting, and to be honest, that's almost expected from the king in any setting outside of the NBA. The stat line isn't what moves me, it's the reaction from the entire world that has made me rethink how greatness is perceived and how it can at times be disregarded due to other moments that catch our attention. And I know that sounds crazy to say, especially for LeBron James, who's a 4-time champ, 4-time MVP, 4-time Finals MVP, with many more accolades and awards we all know about. But LeBron playing a merely pickup game had the eyes of every hoop fanatic focused in on the Drew League that entire afternoon. To begin, the Drew League has been around since 1973, hosting pro-am tournaments in Los Angeles, California. Since the 80s, it's grown in popularity amongst avid basketball fans that want to see mano-a-mano, I go at you, old school hoops, and at times involves NBA players attending and participating in some games, which has made the Drew League an iconic part of basketball, especially during the NBA offseason. Probably the greatest increase in popularity for the Drew League was back in 2011 when the NBA was in a lockout and many NBA players came out to participate to get some runs in and a place for them to compete while the season hadn't started. You had Kobe, LeBron, Harden, DeRozan, and many more players were tapped in, and due to the overwhelming support and entertainment the Drew League brought, Nike decided to sponsor them in 2013 and have ever since. If you were in the gyms watching the stars show out, then you were on YouTube immediately after the final buzzer to watch your favorite player's highlight mixtape. It was a different era that didn't include the nuances of legacies and if this player shot bad. Basketball fans across the world were just thrilled that they were able to see the players that they watched on the grandest stage perform on the same courts they hooped on as well. That type of connection was made and the game felt a little bit more surreal and cherished. Instead of going to Staples Center and watching Kobe Bryant hit a fadeaway game winner, I could go across the street to my local gym and see my idol do the exact same thing on the same court I practice on. Instead of watching Kevin Durant get a heat check through my TV, I could see him do it live in person in Rucker Park. This was a type of moment LeBron James garnered yesterday in his Drew League appearance with DeMar DeRozan. This was an NBA reset that reminded many people why they enjoy the game of basketball. You had the NBA literally scrambling to find a way to stream footage of LeBron James playing basketball in the Drew League to the point they had multiple people downloading the NBA app just to see what the talk was about. 11 years ago, who would have thought the Drew League would have one of their games streamed on the NBA app? And it wasn't just the NBA. Apps like Caffeine TV, which is a streaming service, at one point had 250,000 people tuned in, not to mention YouTube streams, Twitch streams, and of course illegal streams that were used. The rumor as of right now is that over 2 million people were watching the Drew League that afternoon. That number is most likely higher. Just like me and you, everyone and their mama was watching the Drew League game through what looked like an iPhone 5 because they understood how rare it was for this to happen. The Drew League isn't known for streaming games. It's what makes them so exclusive. Like Vegas, you just gotta be there. And the fact that so many people, including the NBA executives, were adamant on getting this game live streamed to basketball fans is a token to the greatness of LeBron James. Players are always hooping in the offseason. Those players aren't LeBron James. And that goes back to what I've been saying about understanding greatness. LeBron may not be your favorite player. Hell, he might be your most hated player. But yesterday's basketball shutdown by Bron reminded me that no matter how much you're disliked, the masses will still tune in to the show if you're great at what you do. And this type of content is only good for the game. We need more instances where NBA stars are suiting up and can put on a show for the local fans that may not always have the opportunity to see their idols. For me personally, I just enjoy the fact that when talent is made available, we're in an era where it's easily accessible to be viewed like yesterday's game that had the entire NBA world watching. I just think about how I believe NBA fans have gotten away from appreciating the players that have been able to entertain us over the past few years. It seems that most of the NBA conversations have been about how this player has failed to do this, and how this player will never win this. And I'm not gonna lie, the shit is tiring. We're arguably in the most talented era of basketball we've ever seen, with arguably the best players to ever touch a basketball. The only thing we can talk about is the narratives that we can portray to diminish the talent that we're watching. I'll often ask myself, do y'all even like basketball? Maybe it's just NBA Twitter, but I think that moments like yesterday are the moments that I talked about in the beginning of my video. No narratives, no analytics, no hidden agendas, just watching one of the greats put on a show for the entire world to watch. On a stage that is different from what we're used to. This goes for all the NBA players that have accomplished great things or will soon do so. In regards to LeBron, he did what he usually does. Puts on the show just like he's been doing for the past 20 years. And even with the constant critiques and agenda pushing that includes diminishing his legacy, this guy still finds a way to captivate every basketball fiend's attention and interest. No doubt Bron will be missed when he retires, but these small moments, like the ones yesterday, are the moments that true basketball enjoyers will appreciate when it's all said and done. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Be sure to turn that post notification bell on so you never miss a video. Until next time, stay on beat.